I'm Jessica Greenfield with the Inner Circle, and I'm going to show you how to make kimchi. It's an excellent snack and one of the most nutrient-rich foods you can possibly eat. So, that being said, I'm going to show you how easy it is to make. What I have here is I have 2 shredded Napa cabbages. And here I have 6 shredded carrots. I'm going to throw those in there with that. A cup of daikon radishes. 2 bunches of green onions. And you're probably thinking to yourself, wow, that's getting kind of full. It's okay, it's going to shrink down. We have 6 minced garlic, 2 tablespoons of grated ginger. Okay, then I'm going to put in some of the seasoning. This is chili powder. You can do chili flakes, it's whatever you prefer. I like to do 2 teaspoons of it in mine. It's however hot you like it. It is a spicy dish, but you can determine on how spicy you like that. So we got 2 teaspoons of chili powder. And then I got 8 tablespoons of whey. And you're probably like, well, we don't have whey just laying around the house. A couple places where you can get whey is by buying fresh mozzarella, the stuff that's in the liquid. That liquid it's in is whey. You can find whey in yogurt. It's generally that slimy stuff that is right on top of the yogurt is the whey. I make yogurt cheese, and so I have an abundance of whey. And someday I will show you how to make yogurt cheese. So here is 8 tablespoons of whey. And then you're going to do 2 tablespoons of salt, which I need to go grab. Sorry. Cooking dinner at the same time. Simultaneous. Yes, I am a woman. I'm a good multitasker. So there's 1 tablespoon. And this, the salt and the whey, is what's going to preserve this dish. That's what is used, what people used to use back in the day, probably during your great-grandparents' time, to preserve their food. So, 2 tablespoons of that. Then we're going to carefully toss this. Doesn't need to, I'm actually going to use my hands. Make sure your hands are clean when you do this because it's lacto fermentation that we're doing here is what the term is called, and it's basically growing good bacteria. This is gonna really help you in your stomach and the digestion and the assimilation of all of your nutrients. It's one of the reasons why this is such a good food for you. This is excellent. Now, it doesn't need to be tossed like to perfection, but just get it going. Yes, see, I'm making a mess. It's okay. Everything can be cleaned. So next, there's a couple of options. You can either take a mallet and pound this down, and what will happen is the salt is going to draw the moisture out of the vegetables because there's a lot of moisture in here. Or what I like to do is I just like to let it sit and let time do that for me because I have lots of other things I can be doing while this is sitting and the water will draw out itself. So it takes about, I would say, an hour, maybe 45 minutes for that to happen. And then when you come back, you're going to look in the very bottom and there's going to be a lot of liquid at the bottom. And then I like to stir it all up. And then that's when I put it in my jar. And what I do is this makes a half gallon of kimchi. That seems like a lot of kimchi. If you want less than that, you can half this recipe. No big deal. So I have a half gallon jar, and I'm going to put this all in my gallon jar. When it's in my half gallon jar, I'm going to press this stuff down to the bottom. You want the liquid to cover this. That's important. Otherwise, you're going to get some ugly brown kimchi. So you want the liquid to be about an inch of liquid covering this. Then, after that, you're going to let it sit out on your counter for 3 days. Sounds like a long time. But remember, we got all this salt in here, and that's what's preserving it, and that's what's causing it not to rot. So, after 3 days, it goes to cold storage, which goes into your fridge. Or, like us, you could probably put it in your garage right now. It's cold enough outside. So, that's how you make kimchi, and it's ready to eat after 3 days. Really little amount of labor that goes into this, and you've got a very healthy food product here. If you buy this stuff in the store, it's probably pasteurized, and it no longer has the health benefits that this would have. So I hope you try this out. It's a really great recipe. If you have questions on it, leave them on the forum. I'll be happy to answer any questions or concerns you have about making this stuff. Enjoy the recipe. It's delicious. A half gallon's normally gone in a week at our house, so enjoy.